Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro was born on February 5, 1985, at exactly 8:45 in the morning, in a small public hospital on the beautiful but impoverished island of Madeira, Portugal. His mother, Maria Dolores, was a cook and cleaner, and his father, José Diniz Aveiro, was a gardener who also worked as a kit man at a local football club called Andorinha. Ronaldo was the youngest of 4 children, but his birth was not an easy one because his mother had been advised by doctors to abort the pregnancy. She was told that she could not afford to raise another child, and many people advised her to end the pregnancy. But Maria Dolores refused because she believed every life was precious, and she decided to keep her baby. That decision would change football history forever. The Aveiro family lived in a tiny house made of corrugated iron and wood in a poor neighborhood called Santo Antonio. The house had no proper flooring, and the roof would leak whenever it rained. There were many nights when Ronaldo and his siblings would wake up to find their clothes and belongings soaked in water. Food was scarce, and there were days when Ronaldo went to school on an empty stomach. Sometimes the only meal he would eat was a simple bowl of soup that his mother made with whatever vegetables she could afford. Despite all this poverty, Ronaldo had one joy in life: football. He would play barefoot on the rough streets with his friends, using old socks stuffed with newspaper as a ball. His feet would frequently get cut and bruised by sharp stones and broken glass, but he never complained because playing football was all that mattered to him. When Ronaldo was 8 years old, his father got him a spot on Andorinha's youth team. From the very first training session, everyone could see this boy was special. He was faster, stronger, and more skillful than any other child his age, and he had an insatiable hunger to win. He would cry for hours if his team lost a match. At age 10, 2 of Portugal's biggest clubs, Sporting Lisbon and Benfica, wanted to sign him. Ronaldo's mother was terrified at the thought of sending her young son hundreds of miles away to Lisbon. She feared he would be lonely and unhappy. But Ronaldo begged her to let him go. He looked into her eyes and made a promise: he would become the best player in the world, he would buy her a big house, pay for all her needs, and take care of her forever. His mother was moved by his words and finally agreed. In 1997, at just 12 years old, Ronaldo left his family and traveled to Lisbon to join the Sporting Lisbon Academy. The journey was long, and Ronaldo cried the entire way because he had never been away from his mother for more than a few hours. At the academy, he was immediately singled out because of his strong Madeiran accent. The other children made fun of him, called him names, mocked his simple clothes and old football boots. Some boys would even hide his belongings and play cruel pranks on him. Ronaldo felt isolated and alone, and he would often cry himself to sleep at night, missing his mother and siblings terribly. But Ronaldo did not allow the bullying to break him. Instead, he used it as fuel to work even harder. He would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, while everyone else was still asleep, and go to the training pitch to practice his dribbling, shooting, and free kicks. He would spend hours practicing the same skill over and over until he had perfected it. He would stay on the training ground long after the other players had gone to the locker room, practicing until his feet were blistered and his legs were so tired he could barely walk. His coaches were astonished by his dedication. One coach later said that Ronaldo would do things no other player would do, like practicing with weights on his ankles to increase speed and strength. When Ronaldo was 13, he received devastating news. His mother called and told him she had been diagnosed with breast cancer. The news hit Ronaldo like a thunderbolt, and he broke down in tears. He was thousands of miles away, and he felt completely helpless. He called his mother every single day and promised her that he would become a great footballer and pay for her treatment. He told her that she could not leave him because he still had so much to show her. This promise became his driving force. Every time he felt tired or discouraged, he would think of his mother fighting cancer, and he would push himself even harder. His mother eventually recovered, and Ronaldo has often said this was the most important moment of his life because it taught him never to give up. At age 16, Ronaldo made his debut for Sporting Lisbon's senior team. In 2003, Sporting played a friendly against Manchester United. Ronaldo put on a masterclass performance, tearing apart the United defense with his pace, skill, and dribbling. The Manchester United players went to their legendary manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, and told him they had to sign this young Portuguese boy. Ferguson, who had seen countless talented players, was also blown away and knew he had to bring this boy to Manchester United. In the summer of 2003, Ronaldo signed for Manchester United for £12,240,000, a huge sum for an 18-year-old. He was given the iconic number 7 shirt, which had been worn by legends like George Best, Brian Robson, Eric Cantona, and David Beckham. Many people believed Ronaldo was too young to wear such an important shirt, but he was determined to prove all his doubters wrong. The first few seasons at Manchester United were extremely difficult. He was booed by opposing fans, criticized by the media, and even criticized by some of his own teammates and fans. They called him selfish and vain, a showboater who was more interested in tricks than helping the team win. Ronaldo was deeply hurt but refused to let the criticism affect him. He continued to train harder than anyone else, work on his weaknesses, and believe in himself even when no one else did. In 2005, Ronaldo suffered the most devastating loss of his life. His father, José Diniz Aveiro, passed away at just 52 years old due to complications from severe alcoholism. Ronaldo was only 20 years old at the time. His father had been a soldier who served in wars in Mozambique and Angola, and the trauma from those experiences led to his alcoholism. Ronaldo later admitted in an emotional interview that he never truly knew his father because of the drinking. He said, "I never spoke with him like a normal conversation. I felt he wasn't sober enough to feel my love for him." His father only lived to see 27 of his goals, a number far too small compared to the nearly 1,000 goals Ronaldo would go on to score. Ronaldo has said he has never returned to his father's cemetery since the funeral because of the psychological trauma and the media circus that followed. He explained, "One of the things that I don't do, it's after my father died, I've never been in a cemetery again. If I go, the attention goes for me and I don't want this kind of attention." His sister Katia later recalled that graves were damaged as cameras and curious people poured in during the funeral, and the family could not leave with any dignity. Despite this tragedy, Ronaldo found support from his manager. Sir Alex Ferguson allowed him to take time off to visit his father in the hospital, even though the team had important matches. Ronaldo said, "For me, these are the most important things. Apart from winning Champions Leagues, to win the Premier League, to win cups. What he said to me, he always did. I have to appreciate that." His father's death left a void that no trophy could fill, but it also became motivation for him to keep playing as a way of showing gratitude to the first person who believed in him. The turning point for Ronaldo came during the 2006-2007 season, when he transformed into a devastating goal-scoring machine. He scored 23 goals that season and led Manchester United to win the Premier League title for the first time in 4 years. He also won his first PFA Players' Player of the Year award. The following season, 2007-2008, Ronaldo reached superhuman levels. He scored 42 goals in all competitions, including the winning goal in the Champions League final against Chelsea. The match went to a penalty shootout, and Ronaldo missed his penalty. He was so devastated that he broke down in tears on the pitch, thinking he had cost his team the trophy. But his teammates stepped up and scored, Chelsea missed, and Manchester United won. Ronaldo went from the depths of despair to the peak of joy in moments, collapsing to the ground crying tears of relief. That year, he won his first Ballon d'Or. In the summer of 2009, Ronaldo fulfilled another dream by signing for Real Madrid for a world record £80 million. The presentation at the Santiago Bernabéu was attended by more than 80,000 fans, the largest turnout for any player presentation in football history. But even at Real Madrid, Ronaldo faced challenges. Before he even arrived, he had clashed with his future teammate Marcelo during a Brazil-Portugal match in 2008. Marcelo later revealed, "My relationship with Cristiano started with a fight. I kicked him, he was very fast. He passed by, elbowed me, and I kicked him, and he grabbed me by the neck." Marcelo admitted he considered leaving Real Madrid when he heard Ronaldo was joining, but they eventually became close friends and won 4 Champions League trophies together. During his 9 years at Real Madrid, Ronaldo scored an incredible 450 goals in just 438 appearances. He won 4 Champions League titles, including 3 in a row from 2016 to 2018. In the 2017-2018 season, he scored a spectacular bicycle kick goal against Juventus in the Champions League quarter-finals. The Juventus fans, known to be some of the most passionate and biased in the world, gave him a standing ovation for his brilliance. In 2016, Ronaldo led Portugal to victory in the European Championship, the first major international trophy in Portuguese football history. The final was held in Paris against the host nation, and Ronaldo was forced to leave the field in tears in the first half because of a serious knee injury. He was absolutely devastated, sobbing uncontrollably as he was carried off on a stretcher. But his teammates rallied, and Portugal won 1-0. Ronaldo, watching from the sidelines with tears streaming down his face, lifted the trophy high above his head and screamed with joy because he had finally brought glory to his country. In 2021, at age 36, Ronaldo made an emotional return to Manchester United. The announcement sent shockwaves through the football world. When he stepped onto the Old Trafford pitch for his second debut, the crowd erupted, and fans sang his name with incredible passion. Ronaldo, who is not usually emotional, was visibly moved and had tears in his eyes as he looked around the stadium. He scored 2 goals in that match and felt like he had come home. But his return to Manchester United was not smooth. In October 2022, during a match against Tottenham, Ronaldo refused to come on as a late substitute. He felt disrespected by the coach, stormed down the tunnel, and left the stadium. He later said, "It's something that I regret, but in the same way I felt provoked by the coach. Not allowed for me, a coach to put me in 3 minutes in a game. Sorry, I'm not that kind of player." This incident marked the end of his time at Manchester United, and he left the club by mutual consent in November 2022. In January 2023, Ronaldo signed for Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia. The move was met with widespread criticism. Many accused him of moving to a weaker league just for money. But Ronaldo defended his decision, saying he wanted to take on a new challenge and help develop football in Asia. However, adapting to life in Saudi Arabia was not easy. He and his family faced cultural differences, climate change, language barriers, and intense public scrutiny. There was a personal tragedy in 2022 when Ronaldo and Georgina lost their twin son during childbirth. This devastating loss deeply affected the family. Georgina later said, "The most important thing, and always my number one priority in life, is my children. When you become a mother, all personal needs take a back seat, you live entirely for your family." The family found solace in Riyadh, which Georgina called paradise on earth, because of the safety it provided for women and children. Despite all the challenges, Ronaldo continued to break records. In 2023, he scored his 120th goal for Portugal, making him the highest goalscorer in international football history. He fell to his knees on the pitch, covered his face with his hands, and tears flowed from his eyes. He had broken a record held by Iran's Ali Daei for many years. In August 2024, Ronaldo launched his YouTube channel You Are Cristiano. The channel gained 1 million subscribers in just 90 minutes, 19 million subscribers in one day, and over 60 million subscribers in the first month, the most successful YouTube channel launch in history. However, even as a legend, Ronaldo faces challenges. At the 2026 World Cup, at age 41, he became the oldest outfield player to start a World Cup match. In Portugal's opening match against DR Congo, he had only 25 touches, no shots on target, and extended his goal drought in major tournaments to 10 matches in 801 minutes. Thierry Henry criticized his performance, saying, "It's the team that needs to score, not you." Some pundits said coach Roberto Martinez was scared to take him off and that Portugal must prioritize the team over its star player. Ronaldo also faced a legal hurdle that kept him away from the United States for more than a decade. A 2009 sexual assault allegation made him wary of entering the US because he could have been exposed to questioning. He avoided American soil until the case was dismissed in 2023. His recent appearance at a White House dinner was his first high-profile U.S. visit in over 10 years. In February 2026, Ronaldo refused to play for Al Nassr as a protest against how the club was being run, feeling that the Saudi Public Investment Fund was not backing Al Nassr to the same degree as other clubs. He was seeking his first league title with Al Nassr and felt the title could be slipping away. Despite all these hurdles, His father's death and the tragedy of never truly knowing him, his mother's cancer, bullying at the academy, criticism and rejection, clashes with teammates and coaches, adapting to a new culture after moving to Saudi Arabia, personal loss, legal issues, and the pressure of aging while still competing at the highest level, Ronaldo has never given up. After 3 turbulent years in Saudi Arabia, Ronaldo finally won the Saudi Pro League with Al Nassr in May 2026. At 41 years old, he collapsed on the pitch and wept after the final whistle. Those tears were not just for the trophy, they were for 3 years of overcoming prejudice, skepticism, cultural barriers, and public opinion storms. They were for his father who never lived to see his success, for his mother who fought cancer and believed in him, for his family who stood by him through every challenge, and for the little boy from Madeira who promised himself he would never give up. Today, Cristiano Ronaldo is 41 years old, and he is still playing football, still scoring goals, still breaking records, and still inspiring millions around the world. He has won 35 major trophies, scored over 900 official goals, and earned billions of dollars. He has over 665 million followers on Instagram and nearly 1 billion followers across all social media platforms. He is not just a footballer. He has become a global brand, a cultural icon, and one of the most famous and influential people in history. Throughout his career, Ronaldo has been incredibly charitable. He has donated millions to UNICEF, Save the Children, World Vision, and other causes. He has paid for surgeries of children with serious medical conditions, donated large sums to help victims of natural disasters, and built schools, hospitals, and sports facilities in disadvantaged communities. He has never forgotten where he came from, and he has always given back to the less fortunate. Ronaldo has said many times that he wants to be remembered as one of the greatest players of all time, but more than that, he wants to be remembered as someone who inspired people to be better. He wants his story to be a source of hope for anyone who is struggling, a source of motivation for anyone working toward a goal, and a source of pride for anyone who comes from humble beginnings. The story of Cristiano Ronaldo is not just about football. It is about the power of resilience, the importance of never giving up, and the beauty of believing in yourself. It reminds us that even in the face of overwhelming adversity, we can still rise to the top and achieve greatness. From the leaky tin roof house in Madeira to the biggest stadiums in the world, from the boy who cried alone at night in an academy dormitory to the man who lifted the European Championship trophy for his country, from the son who never truly knew his father to the father who has built a beautiful family, Ronaldo has written one of the most incredible success stories in human history. His journey teaches us that talent alone is not enough. It takes hard work, sacrifice, discipline, and an unbreakable belief in yourself. It takes the courage to leave home, the strength to endure criticism, and the determination to keep going when everything seems impossible. Ronaldo has shown that with the right mindset, you can overcome any obstacle and achieve anything you want in life. He has said, "I am not a perfectionist, but I like to feel that things are done well. More than that, I like to see that I am improving every day." That is the real secret to his success, not the trophies or the records, but the relentless pursuit of improvement, the refusal to accept mediocrity, and the belief that the best is always yet to come. Today, Cristiano Ronaldo continues to play, continues to score, and continues to inspire. His legacy will live on for generations, not just in the record books, but in the hearts of millions of people who have been inspired by his incredible journey from the streets of Madeira to the summit of world football. He is living proof that dreams do come true.